Yeah, hello everyone. So today we are going to give a demo of our CI/CD pipeline. It's a three-tier architecture CI/CD pipeline where we have a front end, backend, and a database configured in AWS infrastructure. It's a completely automated CI/CD pipeline. Why? Because whenever a developer makes a change to its microservice, so all these three microservice, front end, backend, and database, are the three microservices running in a AWS infrastructure cluster, EKS cluster. So whenever a developer makes a change to its respective source code, maybe front end, backend, it triggers a build. Okay. So developer pushes the code to the Git repo. It triggers a build through a webhook. The build runs on the Jenkins pipeline. Jenkins pipelines has some stages. What are these stages? First is the Sonar build. Okay, and then we have the Trivy scan. Trivy scan is for the file vulnerabilities. Then we have the Docker build and image push to the ECR. The image which is pushed to the ECR is having this kind of label, the timestamp, and followed by the build number. The year followed by month, followed by date, and then the build number. Now on the successful build, this image gets pushed to the ECR. Now comes the deployment part. So this ArgoCD has a feature called Image Updater, which runs on each 2 minutes, right? So it queries the ECR, it checks for the changes, it keeps on checking for the changes in GitHub repo. Whenever it finds, okay, there is a new change, there is a new push into the GitHub repo, it queries the ECR and it finds out the latest image and then deploys onto the EKS cluster. That's how this whole thing works. Okay, so for now what we did is we made a front end change where we make a significant background color change. So our current application is looking like this. This is how our current application is looking like this. It is accessible on this URL. Now we'll make the front end change and we'll see how the whole pipeline turns out, right? So let me push the changes. This is the changes that are already there. Okay, I'll add the changes and commit them. As soon as we push the changes, the webhook gets triggered and the Jenkins pipeline, this is our Jenkins pipeline, this is our front end pipeline. You see there is a job which is waiting there to be built, right, for front end, and it gets triggered. Okay, we'll quickly go to the console. So right now it is running for the Sonar scan and then it goes for the Docker build stage. Yeah, it went to the Docker build stage now. After the Trivy vulnerability scan, on the successful build of the image, it will push to the ECR. Right. So this is the image. You see, this is the timestamp and this is the image. Now let's quickly go to the ArgoCD where it gets deployed, right? So for monitoring purpose right now we are checking the logs. Okay, we are checking the logs here. So this is the logs of Image Updater, which keeps on checking whether there is a change in the GitHub repos of both frontend and backend, which is responsible for the deployment. Okay. So you see here it has found out that the new image is found is 36. Okay, the earlier image was 35. Let's go to here whether what is happening. You see it has been already deployed. The operation is quite fast. We'll see the if you see this is the 36 image which gets deployed right now. Okay, this is the one pod that is running with the image 36. Let's see if we can find it out in the let's see the age of frontend. You see this has been recently deployed. It is only 59 seconds, almost a minute back. Okay, so just to confirm this, let's see the SHA ID. This is 302BB. We'll go to the GitHub repo. We'll see that if we can find out the front-end repo and their changes just to confirm this. Okay, it was 302BB. Yeah, it's the same thing, that same SHA ID. We can find it out over here, which was reflecting over here, right? So our application is deployed. If you see the logs of a history and rollback, you see this is what we did, right, 4 minutes back, and now we can see the images there. Okay, now we're done with the Jenkins part, we're done with the ArgoCD part. Okay, let's see the intermediate stages of the pipeline. This is backend, this is backend again. Yeah, this is front end. Let's see how many stages and what stages we have for the each application. Okay, so it checks out. Okay, it runs the sonar scan, it does the Trivy scan, vulnerability scan, and then performs an image build and push, and then does a Trivy image scan. The resultant image we get is scanned again for the vulnerabilities. Okay, and then it succeeds. Okay, so that's what we are doing now. Let's go to the sonar part. Yeah, so this is our sonar. These are the two projects that are listing over here. If you see it closely, it is showing as 4 minutes. The last analysis was 4 minutes. Okay, so we are done with the sonar, we are done with the Argo. Now let's see if the image is pushed to the ECR repo or not. Okay, so let's go to frontend. Yeah, frontend repo. Yeah, so the image was 2025/11/27/036. Yes, let's confirm if we are right. 036 is the image. Yes, it was pushed, right? It's the same image, we can find it out over here. 036, size of 23.26 MB, right? And it has been pushed on 28th of August 047, almost 4 minutes back. Okay, so we are done with the ECR part, we are done with the sonar part. Let's check the pod status. We have already seen the pod status, so let's check it again. Let's check the application status. Git apps FNN ArgoCD. Yeah, you see they are synced, all of the applications which are listed in the in our Argo is working. Sure. Yeah. So these are the 4 applications that we are seeing. The same application that we can see: backend, database, frontend, and index. Okay. Yeah. So now let's go to the application. Let's see if we can see the change. This was the last application that was existing, and we made a gradient background change. Let's do a hard refresh over here and reload this application. Right? You see, now this is how the whole pipeline has worked. Right? You can do this, you can do anything. You can add a demo done. Yeah, you can add this. Yes, this is done. Okay. Now we have done the deployment. Now let's go back to the monitoring part. How does the monitoring looks like? Okay. So this is our Prometheus, which is collecting the metrics from the target servers. What are the target servers? Let's see. kubectl get nodes fun n 3tl. Right. So our application is running on the two nodes. Okay. Let me get a better view. Yeah, so our application is running on these 2 nodes, 248 and 254. Right. Let's see, what do we have? 248, 254, and then we have the other also 176. Yes, you see this. These are the nodes. kubeproxy is running on these 3 nodes, right? Prometheus DNS, core DNS is running on this. It is sending the metrics alert manager, right? This is how we are saying. Say we want to query something, right? We want to query some CPU usage, right? We'll do this. This is the pre-written query we have. You can see the graph. These are the 4 pods which are running. Okay, we'll see the graphs. You see closely, there are some graphs which have started from the intermediate, right? You see, and these graphs have died. Why these graphs have died? Because these are the backend pods, right? So when we made the backend changes, these pods died, these 2 API pods are died, and the 2 pods came up, right? And this is the front-end pod, right? This is how it is looking. Okay. No, this is not visible. So this is where the front-end pod is there, right? It got picked up. Okay, and CPU usage seconds. Okay, let's run this. Let's run this one. See if we can see anything over here. What is this? This is again for front-end applications. CPU usage, container CPU usage it is showing. So it spiked up over here and then tapered down. Okay. Now let's go to the Grafana part, right? So this is what it shows. We have a nice dashboard which actually shows the deployment, how many deployments we have. Okay. These are the namespaces we have filtered it out, monitoring, ArgoCD, and this and that. Let's focus on the 3 tier only, right? So we have only 3 deployments. Let me do this. kubectl get all -n 3 tier. Yes, so we have 3 deployments. Are we seeing the 3 deployments? Yes. We have 4 pods. Are we seeing the 4 pods? Yes. We have 1 ingress. We have 1 ingress. Do we have an ingress? Yes, we have an ingress. Do we have a stateful set? No, we do not have the stateful set. kubectl get stateful sets -n 3 tier. No resources, right? Similarly, we do not have daemon sets. We have 3 services. We have 3 services. Yes. So it's give you a good view of the pods that are running. Okay. So it gives you a cluster memory usage for the monitoring purpose. What memory the cluster is using, how much is used, how much we have total file system usage, right? And then the nodes, what is the system services that we are running. Okay, so here see this, we have this. Here we can remove this, right? This is for API and this is for the another API, right? And front end I want to see, front end another I want to see. So you can actually mix and match your things, right? So this is a good monitoring dashboard we have in place for the monitoring purpose. That's pretty much for our application. Hope you liked it. Have a nice day. Thank you.